I'm holding a framed photo in my hands. It's us. Me, Sarah, and Maya. We're smiling like we've still got a whole life ahead of us. Now look at me. I'm sitting in an empty house where the echo of my breathing hits the walls, and I do not even know if I can say the next words without breaking. 24 hours ago, I was supposed to sign a deal that was going to make me the winner. I've been chasing my whole life, my company, my exit, my big moment, and I was supposed to take my wife on the vacation I've been promising her for a decade. I swore that after that signature, everything would change, that I would finally be home, that I would finally stop running. Today, the deal is dead. The company is on the edge of collapse, and in this house there is not a single thing that belongs to my wife or my kids. No toothbrush, no Sarah's favorite mug, no Maya's jacket she always tossed on the chair by the door. Even her hair tie is gone. Everything is clean. Everything is sterile. Everything like a morgue. They left yesterday, and if you're watching this at work, or in an office, or in your car between meetings, and you're thinking, yeah, that's sad, but it's not me, please, do not look away, because I thought that too. I thought I was different. I thought I was building a fortress to protect my family. Turns out I was building a prison, and the scariest part, I did not even notice the moment they stopped living inside it. You want to know how a man can lose his wife, his kids, and $10 million in one day? Fine, I'll tell you. But first I have to take you back to where this really started, because yesterday I pulled the trigger, but I loaded the gun 40 years ago. I was 12, a suburb outside Detroit. I remember wet grass, cold rain, and the voice of a guy reading papers like he was reading the weather. I remember our stuff being carried out, boxes, toys, blankets, an old television, and I remember my father's face. It was empty, not angry, not dramatic, just destroyed. My mom stood next to me and held my hand so tight it hurt, and I watched people walk past and pretend they did not see us, and that's when a promise formed in my head. Not pretty, not heroic, dirty, simple. I will never be weak again. I will never let anyone humiliate my family because of money. It sounds noble, right? Like motivation, like responsibility, but it was a virus. It did not make me strong. It made me obsessed. I grew up believing money was the only thing standing between you and shame, and if you earned enough, nobody could break you. I believed in control. I believed in numbers, because numbers do not betray you. They do not cry. They do not get tired. They do not say, I can't do this anymore. Numbers just go up, and if they are going up, that means you are alive. That's what I told myself. When I was 45, I finally felt like I was winning. We built a company. Logistics, tech, contracts, clients, people. I bought a house in Chicago. Big, beautiful, expensive, and I looked at it like proof that that 12-year-old kid would never stand in the rain next to boxes again. Then Marcus, my partner, told me he was leaving. For 5 years before that, we were in the trenches together, sleeping in the office, convincing investors we were not crazy. And then one day he walked into my office and said, my son has asthma. I'm missing his life. I can't do this anymore. I smiled. I actually smiled, and I said something disgusting that still makes me feel sick. You're leaving money on the table. Are you serious? He looked at me for a long time, calm, no anger, and he said, Arthur, you can make more money, but you cannot make more time. Back then, I thought he was weak. I thought he got scared. I thought he quit. And you know what the worst part is? I genuinely believed I was a good husband and a good father, because I was doing it for them, because I was providing. because I was protecting. Sarah was already starting to disappear back then, not in a dramatic way. No screaming, no broken dishes. She just got quieter. And that, it turns out, is the scariest thing. When someone stops yelling, it is not because things are fine, it is because they are done. She started saying things I did not really hear, even when she said them right to my face. I don't see you for weeks. You're physically here, but you're not here. I want you to be present while Maya grows up, not just pay for it. I answered like a robot, like a program, just a little longer. One more push. I'm doing this for us. Then it'll get easier. And then I missed our anniversary, not because I forgot. I remembered. I even bought a gift. It was sitting in my car. I just did not show up because urgent, because a call, because a deal. And when I walked in, Sarah was sitting at the kitchen table with a cake that had already melted, and she did not scream. She just looked at me like something inside her disconnected. I said, "I'm building this empire for you." She said quietly, "You're building it without us." I did not understand it was a warning. Not, "She's mad." Not, "She'll cool off." It was a crack, and instead of fixing it, I just poured more concrete on top. Money, gifts, vacations I kept postponing. Promises that sounded good but had no body behind them. And that brings us to yesterday. Yesterday was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. And Maya's day, her graduation. I promised her. Not in a vague way. Not, "I'll try." I promised her. Straight. "I'll be there. I won't miss it." She looked at me and said, "Dad, don't ruin this. I don't want to sit there again and scan the room looking for you." And I said, "I swear." That same day, I had the final negotiations to sell my company. In a skyscraper, glass walls, a view over the city, people in suits smiling like they know how to swallow stress like water. Everything looked perfect. The deal was fair. The price was insane. It was supposed to finally shut down all my fear, all my childhood nightmares. And you know what happened? That same 12-year-old kid woke up inside me, a kid who hates helplessness. He did not want enough. He wanted more. He did not just want to win. He wanted to humiliate the very possibility of losing. They named the number, $10 million more than anything I ever imagined. And I, instead of signing, said, "No, I want 10 million more." Silence. Same people, same smiles. But the air changed. They started explaining logic, risk, markets. I heard words, but I did not hear meaning because I was already in war mode, tapping my fingers on the table, speaking sharp, feeling that sweet rush of control, like if I squeezed hard enough, the world would be safe again. The clock kept moving. I saw the time. I saw graduation getting closer. I even felt a little fear, but I told myself, this will take a little longer. I'll get the money. I'll show up like a hero. I'll make it up to them. Sarah called. I declined it. Maya texted. I replied with one sentence, "Soon. I'm on my way," even though I had not moved an inch. And then came the moment I will never forget. One of the buyers, a calm guy who had been polite the whole time, set his pen down and said, "We're done. This is not productive. We can't trust someone who changes the rules at the last minute." I laughed, nervous, and I said, "You're not leaving. You've come too far." And he stood up, and they left. They just left. No yelling, no theater. The door closed. The glass walls reflected my face, and for a second I saw myself from the outside, empty eyes, tight mouth, and this clear feeling. I just burned $10 million with my own hands. But even then, I thought, fine, money is a hit, but I still have my family. I'll get there. I'll hug Maya. I'll tell Sarah I get it now. They'll support me. The clock showed a time that made me physically sick. I ran. I do not remember the elevator. I do not remember starting the car. I remember one thing. I drove like I could outrun time. Like if I went fast enough, I could negotiate with reality. I was doing 100 miles an hour. And you know what I kept saying in my head? Not "I love you." Not "I'm sorry." I kept saying, "I'll still make it. I'll still make it. I'll still make it." I pulled into the house to change. I thought they were there. I thought there would be noise. Maya's dress. Makeup. Sarah stressed out. Kids laughing. Something alive. I opened the door, and the silence hit me. Not normal silence, the kind of silence that has weight. It presses on your chest. I took one step, then another, and I noticed the hallway closets were open, empty in a way that makes you feel embarrassed to look inside, like someone carefully erased their presence from my life. I walked into the kitchen. On the table were Sarah's keys, her wedding ring, and papers, signed, divorce, and on top, a note. I picked it up and my hands started shaking. I still thought, this is just emotions. She's mad. We'll talk. And then I read it. We went to graduation without you, and from now on, we're without you too. You always chose numbers. Now stay alone with them. Don't look for us. Maya doesn't want you to see her today. I don't want you to promise anymore. I want you to just disappear from our home, the same way you disappeared from our lives. I read it over and over because my brain refused to accept it. I sat down on the floor right there, and for the first time in years, I did not feel anger. I felt cold, the kind of cold like someone turned the lights off inside you. And you know what I thought about in that moment? Not the deal, not the money, not the company. I thought about Marcus, about how I called him weak, and how maybe he was sitting in the front row at his son's graduation right then, watching him, and he had the thing I mocked. And I have a house worth millions with not a single voice in it, no laughter, no dad, just echo, and this framed photo in my hands. I couldn't breathe right for a long time. I walked through the rooms like a ghost. I opened drawers like there might be an answer inside. I went into Maya's room and saw empty shelves, and that's when the worst truth finally hit me. They didn't leave yesterday. Yesterday was just the day they stopped pretending I was still with them. Do you understand the difference? She's mad is still emotion, still connection, still a chance, but she feels nothing is the end. Cold, thought through, prepared for years. I always thought I controlled my life, that if I earned enough, I could buy peace. But you cannot buy presence. You cannot buy back the evening you missed. You cannot buy back trust you ate piece by piece. With every "I'm busy," you can negotiate a contract, but you cannot negotiate with lost time. I want you to hear me not as YouTube drama, but as a man who just lost a home, even though the building is still standing. Because a home is not square footage, a home is people. And I did everything to have the footage, and almost nothing to have the people. Maybe you're thinking, okay, he went too far. I'm not like that. Listen, I didn't think I was doing it either. I didn't think I was a bad father. I didn't think I was a bad husband. I just always had one more important thing, and that one more ate my life. Here's what I want you to do after this video. Not tomorrow. Not when it gets easier. Not when I finish this project. Today. If you have a wife, look at her and ask how she really is. Not the polite version. Not fine, for real. And don't get defensive when you hear the truth. If you have kids, walk up and hug them. Not between calls. Not quick, like you understand that one day they might stop waiting. If you're in your car, pull over and call. Say, I'll be home, and then do it. Because words without presence are just noise. I know how your head sounds right now. I know the excuses. I'm doing it for them. I'm providing. I'm trying to give them a better life. I said all of that too, and it sounded good until I realized I was just scared to be that kid in the rain again. But fear is a terrible leader. It always asks for more. One more contract. 1 more million. One more push. And it never says, Enough. You're safe now. You want to know what I feel right now? I feel like I built a fortress of wealth and forgot to put doors on the inside. I locked my family in a cold place where everything was bought, but nothing was lived. And they ran. They did what I should have done a long time ago. They chose life. I don't know if they'll come back. I don't know if Maya will forgive me. I don't know if I can even say anything to Sarah that doesn't sound like another empty promise. Because when I'm honest with myself, I didn't lose them yesterday. I lost them 1,000 times before, with small betrayals, small later, small I can't. I look at this photo and I don't see us. I see what could have been. If just once I had said no to money and yes to a person. If just once I had walked out of that glass conference room and gone to my daughter's graduation. If just once I had chosen love over winning. And now I'm going to say the hardest thing. Money won't hold you at night. Money won't say, I'm here. Money won't forgive you when you break the heart of someone who loves you. It'll just sit in an account like silent proof that you knew how to earn and didn't know how to live. I'm not asking you to become lazy. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm saying stop lying to yourself that you can pay for your absence. You can't. Look at me. I'm 56. Yesterday I wanted $10 million more. Today, I would give everything to get back one evening, one graduation, one moment where Maya was scanning the room looking for me. Don't make yourself sit in silence one day holding a framed photo in your hands, wishing you could rewind your life. Don't make it so you have to draw that red X in your own head. I don't know if any of this will save me, but it can save you. If you want, subscribe. There won't be motivation here. There will be stories that hurt to hear, but matter. And if you're standing right now between one more hour of work and going home, I want this video to be the shove that stops you before you ever hear the silence in your own house. I'll end it simply. No pretty words. Don't be me. Go to them while you still can.